My name is Mickey Morissette. I'm the founder of Choice Moms, which provides education, support, and insight for single women who proactively build families on their own through both donor insemination and adoption. I'm also the editor of the Voices of Donor Conception book series, which currently includes as its first title, Behind Closed Doors, which looks at how adults affected by donor conception, as donors, offspring, and parents, are suggesting reform in the industry. In this webcast, I will talk with you for a few minutes about what anyone using donor conception might want to know or think about before and after using third-party sperm or eggs to create a family. The first step in donor conception is deciding what kind of donor should we use. When we're trying to build our families, whether we're single or married, and fertility treatment is required using donated egg or sperm, our primary focus is on how to succeed at conceiving. What is not as commonly thought about in advance is what happens after this baby becomes a questioning child, and then an adult, and then a parent of their own. There are 5 categories of donors. Traditionally, families have used anonymous donors who do not have any contact with families created by their donation. But partly because of the lessons learned from adoption and from the advocacy of donor-conceived offspring, open identity donors are becoming more popular options. And in the United Kingdom, as well as other countries, open identity donors are the only ones allowed by law. This gives offspring the option of asking questions of the donor after they turn 18. You can read more about these donor options, including the use of known donors and directed donors, on the choicemoms.org website. Second step is deciding which program should we get donated gametes from. Choosing a sperm bank, for example, should not simply be a matter of deciding which donor appeals to you the most. You are also marrying the policies of that program, and some are better than others at certain things. For example, how many offspring are allowed per donor? How widely are these offspring distributed geographically? Do they help offspring make contact with half-siblings from the same donor, if that becomes important to you or your child? How aggressively do they track pregnancy outcomes so their number of offspring limits per donor are actually meaningful? If it turns out that there is a genetic abnormality with the donor, because every potential hereditary issue cannot be screened even today, what is the program's policy about notifying families who reported pregnancies from that donor? What is their refund policy if it turns out that the vial of sperm you've purchased doesn't have the post-thaw motility required? The third step is educating yourself about issues and information for successful donor conception. In the Choice Mom Guide to Fertility, for example, we include information about at-home insemination, dealing with the emotions of coping with fertility treatment, and stress reduction tips from noted fertility expert Alice Domar. One of the most popular offerings on the choicemoms.org website is a podcast called What Donor-Conceived Adults Want to Know. It features my interview with Joanna Shebb, who is a researcher with the Sperm Bank of California, who talked about the kinds of things that offspring conceived from donor sperm would like to know about their biological makeup. The last time I checked the numbers, that one podcast had been downloaded nearly 900 times. We also have a very popular CD called Answering the Daddy Question, which, among other things, features interviews with 4 notable experts about how to talk to our children about who that donor is and what their relationship to our family is. For more on the resources I've described in this webcast, most of them free, see the Donor Conception package on the choicemoms.org website. Also stay tuned on the website for details about a forthcoming CD specifically about donor conception. Conceiving a family with donated gametes is one amazing path that thousands of families have been able to use to raise strong, beloved children. By learning everything you can, before and after, using donated sperm or eggs, you are one step closer to having the kind of open, honest, and respectful relationship every parent wants to have with their children, no matter how they were brought together. As always, welcome to the discussion and welcome to the journey.